The second C I want to talk about is communication. Now that you know who your customer is, how will you communicate with them? I want you to think about some of the small things that companies do to enhance your experience. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you've ever ordered from Sweetwater, there's something they add to every single package. And if you've never, well, that's okay. But they add a little bag of candy every single package that you buy from them. If you go to Costco, they're known for having lots of different samples that you can try. And if you have ever walked into a bank, there's always candy, Dum Dum Suckers or Mints or Jolly Ranchers. Why do they do that? Well, these are called touch points. And brands think a lot about the way that they communicate with their customer. In this case, this small touch leaves you with a positive feeling. So when you start associating with being in the bank, which is a very different experience than being at Costco, which is overwhelming, but you're like, oh, but I get these samples and that makes me feel good. Every little thing a company does is on purpose. So we'll be thinking in communication in terms of promotion, advertising, social channels, word of mouth, and sharing. We'll really concentrate on the first three. So promotion tactics, what do we mean by that? Well, we can use things like product tie-ins. What products are always tied in? There's always things with movies, glasses, promotional features, toys at fast food restaurants, things like that. Obviously events, we've talked about Coachella, Bonnaroo, Sonic Temple. These all are associated with particular types of customers and they want to communicate with that. And brands who also want to identify that customer, they want to communicate with them as well. So we want to be at that event. Trade show. The Arnold Expo is a great example for that. The Arnold's full of protein powders and Rogue Fitness and things related to fitness and workout. And the Arnold Expo knows that, so they can charge a premium to those people to have a booth there because they know 100% of people coming into the Arnold Expo are going to be interested in fitness. Guest speakers and guest articles are a great way to promote your brand without selling someone, and that's what marketing is about, not necessarily always selling. Contests. What does even Publishers Clearinghouse do? I don't know, but we know that they have their contest, right? Sales are something to be wary of, and that's always helpful, but a lot of you have picked up that Waves does a plug-in for one price, and then if you wait about 30 days, it'll go on sale, so they do that. But people who want to be first in line, they know that people want to do that, and they can charge them a premium. And a lot that we'll see is the request reward. This idea of if you give me a email, I'll give you this free download, this free ebook, this free MP3, whatever it might be. And that's a way to promote something and let people have awareness, but not charge them money. And maybe there's an interaction that you can charge them for later on. Of course, sponsorship. Sponsorships really blur the line of what's an advertisement and what's a collaboration. So with cycling jerseys or NASCAR, where they've got all these ads plastered all over that, is that an advertisement? Is that a sponsorship? Is that a collaboration? It's hard to know. And of course, advertising. We're used to this. Slap up a billboard and let everyone who comes through there see that. And there's certain things that lend themselves to that fairly well. There is a billboard that I see as I cross over the railroad tracks. So I have to slow down. So that's a great place for a billboard. And it's for a restaurant basically at the end of the street that I'm on. That seems like a wise place to advertise that. Everyone who's on this street is within almost 200 yards of the restaurant that I'm advertising. In this case, advertising makes a lot of sense for that restaurant. And that billboard costs them a lot of money, but it probably makes sense. What are some of the other advertising tactics? Print ads. Pick up a copy of Tape Op. They're all music technology related ads. Obviously, online is a great place for advertising. Banner ads, pop-up ads, Google AdWords. Do they work? Most of us ignore them. TV is still a great place for advertising. Super Bowl is still the most expensive ad place to advertise ever. Radio is a great place for advertisement. It tends to skew a bit older, but each station has an identity. And then the same way Spotify can identify those customers, the oldie station versus the alternative station versus the hip-hop station will have very different demographics, which means different people want to advertise to that group, and they each have their niche. And of course, the social networks are a huge place for advertisements. Facebook knows even more about us than Spotify. And of course, YouTube. We're all used to the 5-second pop-up ads. Do they work? Most of the time, I'm just waiting to see if I can skip that ad. With social media, this is part of the case study. I thought it was a great sheet. One says call to action. scheduling your social media posts in advance, be brief, have an impact, ask questions, and invest in Facebook ads. So you can see even with the social media, advertising is a part of that. It's all about awareness and engagement. That is all what marketing is about.